Hi, welcome back to the channel. After last week's delay riser video, I had a few requests asking how to do traditional risers. So for this, I'm using the same template that we had last week, and I'm going to create a 4-bar riser. So the first thing to do, let's leave a saw on oscillator A, and then oscillator B, we will put this to a sine. And in case it isn't obvious, these clearly aren't rules. Experiment, do what you want. I'm just creating a variation of it for you to use or to butcher or change as you see fit. Let's just solo this one and we will have a listen to as we go. Let's attach LFO 1 to the pitch of A and B. Let's put a filter on here, bandpass perhaps. Let's put this to hertz because we're going to modulate over time the rate of this. And this responds a lot better if you're using something smooth like hertz. Now this track or this project is at 150 BPM. And I know the hertz number that corresponds to that is 1.25. And I think it's going to round it indeed to 1.3. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think behind the scenes, it still modulates at 1.25. Let's change the unison. Let's go 9 on A. And 7, let's go 9 as well on A. I like to use odd numbers here because that maintains a center voice. Now let's go to our matrix here and drag LFO 2. And then the modulation destination of that will be LFO 1 rate. Turn this all the way up. Change this to 4 bars because that's the length of our riser. And as you can hear, over that 4 bars, it's gradually getting faster. Let's just turn the filter off so you can hear that a bit better. Let's attach LFO 2 to the cutoff. Resonance and drive up. Let's add a reverb. Let's keep it on plate, I think, for now. And the mix will turn down around there. And then we'll modulate the mix level with LFO 2. Let's turn the EQ on. Now, one thing I like to do, so it doesn't sound so abrupt coming on, obviously you can change the attack envelope, but what I like to do is have it fade in with EQ, like that. So let's go to LFO 4. I'm leaving LFO 3 blank for the moment. And I'll attach that to frequency. And let's change this to 4 bars. And then we'll turn it down so it's basically already swept in by the end of the second bar. So we're getting there. It's kind of not really psychedelic enough for us. So let's add a filter and comb plus. Let's move this to the start. That's sounding good. Let's have a listen without the filter though. So I think the first half sounds better without the filter. But then I don't like the second half. So let's add LFO 3 to the mix. Let's change that to 4 bars. And we want it to go the other way. And let's also, on the LFO2, let's put this to mix level for the comb filter. Let's adjust the coarse pitch modulation. So then with a bit of fine tuning we have this. And essentially all I've done is just drop the unison voices by 2 on oscillator A. I've increased octave on oscillator A by 1. The comb filter and the EQ is all the same, there's no change there. And then just a slight adjustment to the curve here just to make it a bit more steep or a bit more pronounced in the end of the rise, if you like. And then let's add a bit of kick and bass as well. And we have this. Let's start from the start. So there we go. I just emphasize once again, risers are one of the most fun things you can make. Just throw everything in there, modulate everything, and you come up with some really wacky and crazy sounds. So just experiment and have fun with them. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week with something else. We'll see you then. Bye.